Post-pandemic mental health has become a huge topic of discussion. The way that we have been conceptualizing well-being and mental health and psychological distress versus psychological stress versus overall well-being, I think has come under the spotlight, particularly after the COVID pandemic. And seeing how a big societal change and a sudden societal change can have an impact on people's overall mental health. And I think the way that we look at mental health needs to change in the future. The way that we address mental health needs to change in the future, and the way that we take responsibility for mental health needs to change in the future. And the way that we change it in the future is to start examining it now and to examine it under a lens that we haven't examined it under before. I think we take for granted that everyone is capable of identifying when they are not doing well, or when they are under psychological stress, or when things aren't optimal for them. But the truth is that not everyone is capable of making that self-reflection. So although it would be ideal if we could all look at ourselves and say that these are the areas of my own psyche that need work, or that could use an intervention, or that could use improvement, it is not necessarily the case. And I think sometimes it takes going to a professional person and saying that there are possibly areas that in my life that could use improvement, and having somebody look at which areas of your life you are struggling with, which areas of your personality are conflicting with your optimal functioning, and which areas of your mental health could use improvement, and then working with that professional to gain that kind of optimal functioning. Looking at your own mental health within your own home environment, within your own personal capacity, is a very individual thing. Because what is mental health for one person can be excruciating for another person, and the things that one person finds to be enjoyable and finds to be something as a source of improvement for their mental health can be detrimental to another person. So I think knowing yourself and getting to know yourself outside of perhaps your work environment, or outside of perhaps your social environment, and looking for the things that make you feel whole as a person is probably the first step in finding a regime or a pattern that could be improving your mental health. For one person, it could be self-care in terms of physical self-care, looking after your exercise, looking after your physical health, taking care of your body. For another person, it could be taking care of your cognitive or your intellectual health, reading. For some people, it could be focusing more on social interaction with other people. But for somebody who's more introverted, it could be taking time away from social interaction. So the important thing is to know yourself and to get to know yourself. Taking time to get to know yourself and to see how you react to certain situations, and then engaging in the things that make you feel better as a person.
Three.